In the last episode, I discussed about what high demand trainers do differently, and there was one particular thing that they do, and that is they specialize. They are known for something. So in today's episode, I'm going to dig deeper into that idea because specialization is not just a marketing tactic. It is one of the fastest way that personal trainers can build authority, they can build trust and long-term client loyalty. So if you ever felt like you're really good at what you do, but you still feel like you're just blending in, this episode is about how to stop being seen as a trainer and to be seen as the trainer. Welcome to the Solo Trainer Podcast. This podcast is for solo trainers, solopreneurs, for those thinking about it, or for those who have already made the leap working for themselves. Here you get real stories, expert advice, and coaching strategies to help you create a thriving business. I am Ginger Seamus, and I am your host. I've been working for myself as an independent personal trainer for 9 years now, and I've been in the health and fitness industry for quite a long time. And if you haven't already grabbed the free checklist and guidebook that tells you everything you need to do to launch, to grow, to run, to manage, to create a sustainable, thriving business, you want to be sure to get that guide. It has all the steps, all the actions that you need to take, and it's completely free. So be sure to check out the link for that in the description or the show notes. So in this episode, I'm going to be focusing on why it's so important as personal trainers to be specializing. As I mentioned in the previous episodes, there's been a shift in our industry where it's no longer like the 35-year-old female or the 45-year-old male that's seeking personal training for just general health and fitness. These days, with everything on demand, there's less of that occurring, and the people that are seeking out personal training really have special needs that they're needing a trainer for. So it is so important as a trainer to have a niche, a specialized area that you are the perfect guide for. And so today I'm going to be talking about how to choose that niche, one that is credible, sustainable, and marketable, about how having a specialization helps you grow your business and what is required when you specialize. What is required for that? So let's first discuss how to pick a specialization, how to choose a niche. And not just any niche, not anything that's trendy or forced, but something that is credible, sustainable, and marketable. As I mentioned many times when I share the steps about starting your business, before trainers even need to think about their branding, their pricing, their social media, or how they're going to find clients, they have to determine who their target market audience is. Who are they specifically trying to reach? And this is 3 questions I have for you to think about that's going to help you determine who that target market is, which is basically who you're specializing in. So your first question you would ask yourself is, who have you already helped successfully? This has to do with the credibility piece of having a niche. And it comes first because credibility comes first. Authority is built on proof, not some sort of aspiration. So I want you to think about a commonality between those clients that have stayed with you the longest, those clients who've gotten consistent results, and for those clients who have referred you to others. For myself, when I think about my clients that have stayed the longest, gotten consistent results, and referred me, these individuals tend to be older, 50 plus. Even a lot of them are retired or close to wanting to be retired, or could retire if they wanted to. And they each have a special physical, they have an injury, they have some physical limitation that they really need a trusted guide to help them get into fitness level that they love, and especially continue doing things that they enjoy doing. A lot of my clients, most of my clients are very active. So they want to continue being able to bike, to ski, to run, to golf, enjoy those things in their later years, in their retirement years, and to age very well. So there's seen this commonality in my clients and who I serve the best. And it's honestly who I enjoy serving the most. So if you're thinking about your clientele, like trying to find a niche, you don't necessarily need to invent one. Most of the trainers, you have one hiding right there in your client list. So take some time and think about that. Who have you already helped successfully? That's the first step to sort of figure out what is this niche and specialization, this area that you would be best to specialize in. All right, the next question that you're going to want to ask yourself is, who do you actually enjoy helping? This question relates to the sustainability piece, because having a niche, having a specialization only works if you are really engaged for the long term with it. If it's really a group of people that you love working with. So here to help you figure out specifically for that, I want you to think about, what are those clients that energize you instead of drain you? We've all had those clients that have drained us, that we actually don't look forward to working with for one particular reason or another. But then we have those clients that we just can't wait to have that session with them. We can't wait to the next time they see that client. Or when we leave that session with that client, we feel really energized about what we're doing. The other thing to think about is, what problems do you enjoy learning about the most? And also, which sessions just tend to fly by? For myself, I'll give you, like, I know for myself, working with kids is not one of my strong suits and areas. I don't find that it's an area. I mean, I say I don't love the children, because I do, but it's just not a niche or an area that I feel I'm very good at. And the same goes for high performance individual. It's just not an area that I enjoy learning more about. But I have really come to love to learn about corrective exercise and understanding why people have imbalances and trying to fix those imbalances. And I think part of that stems from my nursing background and sort of understanding the body from quite a different medical perspective. And so trying to, understand what's working, why isn't it working, and how can we be making it work better for these clients that are dealing with injuries or medical issues or certain conditions and things like that. So what is it for you? What clients do you enjoy training the most, that you want to learn more about helping? One area is not better than the other. We all need to be good fits, but burnout can really kill authority, and faster than any kind of lack of knowledge. So you could be super knowledgeable about a certain area, but if it doesn't give you joy, and I'm sounding like Marie Kondo here, right? If it doesn't give you joy, then you need to toss it out and find that area that does give you joy. All right, the third question that you want to ask yourself to help you develop is specifically who your niche is, who you want to specialize in, is what problems are you known for solving? And answering this question is going to help you with really clear marketing. So this is about the marketing piece of that. Strong niches are built around problems, specific problems, not vague categories. For example, it isn't like I train women or I do strength training or functional training. You need to think more specific like that. Some examples are, I help postpartum women rebuild strength safely, or I help busy professionals train around a chronic pain. Because people are not just searching, they're just not Googling for general fitness. When they go to search something, they go to search for a specific solution to some problem that they have, some sort of hurts, what scares them, where they feel stuck. And so you need to really think about, what is it you're solving? What problem are you solving for people? for myself, and I think about my client base and those that I work with the most, is that I am solving for a lot of them the concern around the fact that as they get older, they're not going to be able to enjoy the activities that they enjoy doing. They want to age well. So there's a little bit of fear that as they're getting older, that they're not going to be able to be as mobile and enjoy their life. And so I'm helping to solve the problem that they have training appropriately, getting the activity that they need in order to be able to do the things that they love and to age really well. So, knowing and understanding um, the problem that you're solving, now this is actually going to help lead into the next thing I want to talk about, how having a specialization helps you to grow your business. Before we jump into that, I just want to recap the 3 questions really quick that you need to be asking yourself. Okay, number 1, who have you already helped successfully? So what are those clients who stayed the longest, got consistent results, who referred others? What do you actually enjoy, or excuse me, who do you actually enjoy helping? What are those clients that energize you instead of drain you? What problems do you enjoy learning the most about? What should those sessions fly by? And question number 3, what problem are you known for solving? So think about the the things that clients have told you that working with you has helped solve this problem for them, rather than having some sort of general solution. Okay, so let's talk about how having a specialization helps you grow your business. And this really has to do how, when you have a specialization, when you have a niche, it gives you really clear language. And when you have really clear language and you're specifically talking to someone about their needs versus just being very general, it makes choosing you by a potential client super easy. Once a trainer has clarity on who they help and what problem they solve, everything gets simpler, especially in communication. So, how you introduce your services, what your website says, what you put on social media, and how you search and network and try to find those potential leads. Because you're going to want to go wherever those individuals are with those problems that you can help solve. You want to go there. So, what you want to think about, it can be really great, is developing that one sentence piece of authority. Having that one sentence. So, if someone asks you what you do, you can be really clear in like one sentence. And so you could start with, I'm a personal trainer, because that still gives somebody an idea. But you say, I'm a personal trainer that helps blank who struggle with blank so they can blank. So, hey, what do you do? I'm a personal trainer and I help blank who struggle with blank so they can blank. So it's very specific. So I help, and give you some examples of this. I help women in midlife who are afraid of getting injured again regain strength and confidence. Another one is, I help clients with chronic pain feel safe training again. So, who do you specifically help? Who are those people? What are they struggling with so they can do what? And I tell you, if you have a really clear sentence on that, and you can try working it with people, because you want a stranger to be able to understand that instantly. So if you happen to say with someone, say, hey, I'm working on, you can call it your elevator pitch, or you could call it, I'm just calling my description of what I do in one sentence. Can I share it with you real quick? And if they get it in an instant without any question, you're right on track. Because when you have a really clear statement about what you do and how you help people, you're going to instantaneously build authority. When you can say what you do clearly, clients will start self-selecting into your business. because they see that you can answer the problem that they're having, the concerns that they're having, that you're specific to helping them in their need. And so they are more likely going to gravitate towards you to work with you because you do that versus someone who's very general. Also, part of this, when you're very clear, is there's less convincing about your services and more starting to confirming working with you. Um, if you happen to be one of those trainers, and I've heard this many times, well, if they would, that it's those trainers that are struggling to sign people to work with them, that they was like, if they just start training with me, they'll understand how valuable it is to work with me, how much they enjoy it, the results that they will see. The issue is that you're not very clear in your message with that person to start with, that if you feel like they have to wait till they work with you one-on-one to see the value in working with you. And so it is well, that's why this is so important to work on and do, so that you can be really clear in the start who you serve when you're talking with them, the value you can provide. We all know that our clients, when people work with us, they're going to see greater value and different results they never even thought of until they're working with us. But before then, you've got to still have to show them how you'll be able to help them specifically. And also, the other thing is, when you're really clear and specific about helping a niche, helping a certain person with an issue, conversations aren't so hard around the price. It's more about making sure that they're a good fit for both you, for them and you. Um, when someone specializes, when they are known for a particular group of people that they help and they assist, there's less comparison to other trainers that are in the room that they know. So there's competition can sort of fade away, and you get chosen because of your expertise. And so you're less like, well, why would somebody want to choose someone over me? And it's like, because I'm an expert in this. And as I've already said, people who are seeking personal training these days are looking for experts, and they are willing to pay for that. They are willing to travel for that. So it really causes the business to grow faster than some people think. Because some people think, well, I'm going to eliminate those that if I specialize and I have a niche, I'm going to eliminate all the other more, it's going to narrow my bucket of people that I can train with. It's not to say you're not going to train with other people outside that bucket. Your chances of working with someone when you have a specialization, it actually increases, because again, you can specifically help solve someone's particular problem. You even think about yourself when you're looking for a solution to a problem. You're wanting something specific. You don't want anything general. And I know it can be sometimes hard for people to wrap around, thinking I need to be this with everyone, instead of I need to be like this with this specific person, these specific people. All right. I feel like we've dug in plenty of that, of sharing with you about how having a niche creates growth in your business by giving you more authority and really showing your expertise. But there are some requirements that if you're going to specialize, that's very important, and that really comes in the form of education. And here's what trainers miss. That specialization is not just a label. It's not just going out there, say, I work with pre and postpartum women, or I work with soccer athletes. It's a responsibility. When you say that you're working with a specific group of individuals, active agers who have a history of joint surgeries, injuries, replacements. Educating yourself in that specialty is an absolute non-negotiable. So if you position yourself as the go-to person for a specific problem, specific population, you owe it to your clients to really understand the nuance, to stay current on what's going on, what education out there, what's the latest research, so that you can train with confidence, absolute confidence, and absolute care. Because you can't work with people that have had surgeries, they're post rehab, or maybe they have a special thing since maybe they're like Down syndrome. You can't rely on just a generic basic training certification alone. You've got to really seek out the education. And when we seek out education, it helps to build the confidence that we have in our sessions. It improves our clients' outcomes, and it protects both you and your client. You can gain a lot through of experience, but authority is really going to be sustained with education. And so really seek out where you can gain further educations, what courses are out there, what certifications are out there. I know for myself, one of the best advice that it was given to me, and I think it had a lot to do because this manager I had knew my nursing background and thought this would be is like for me to get into corrective exercise. And once I took my first corrective exercise certification, I wanted more. Education is pricey. It can be, these certifications are expensive. And to be honest, one isn't going to do it. You need to do more than one. You need to get a toolbox full of different philosophies and ideas and training techniques to kind of figure out what works best for you and your client. So it is a investment well worth the return of seeking out those educational opportunities. And there's lots of them out there. So do some search and some Googling, and you owe it to yourself and your clients in order to continue to educate yourself, because that's really going to help you stand out in this industry is your education. So once you've chosen that niche, I'm saying your next step, once you've chosen that, is that you're investing in that education to support it. As I've already said, that really is what turns your specialization into a real authority. All right, so if you're working to build your business and you realize that this is one of the to-dos you need to do is to figure out your target market audience, who you're specializing, who your niche is going to be, and that education that you need to get for it. But you've also have concerned about a lot of the other to-dos you have to do to start your business, and how in the world can you stay organized or on track or make sure you're doing everything. Again, don't forget to get the free guidebook and checklist for starting, running, managing your business. I list those things in there, so they're part of your checklist. Again, it's completely free, so you can get that in the links below in the show notes or descriptions or all that. So all right, so that is wrapping up how specialization turns personal trainers into authority. So now you have an idea of how to figure out who that niche is and how to clearly state how you help them. So your next step is going to be investing in education that supports your specialization. So in the next episode, I'm going to be sitting down with one of the founders of Exercise Therapy Association, and we're going to talk about how continuing education, especially in specialized populations, doesn't make you a better trainer. It helps you grow a stronger, more sustainable business. So when that episode's available, if you're watching via YouTube, it'll be right here over my shoulder. We'll be sure to put the link to it there. So until then, here's to the great that awaits.